Hey you guys, it's me, Chris Colley. I apologize, I'm a few minutes late here. I'm just gonna take a minute to see if I'm in the right spot here. I'm gonna share with you today, first of all, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Rochester Hills, Michigan. I come to you live every Tuesday morning on our Stampin' Up! Rubber Room Friends page. And boy, my computer's acting all funky here. But I do a live and share whatever it is that I'm working on, what's happening in the rubber room, all that good fun stuff with you guys. And so I'm just gonna check, make sure I'm in the right spot. And we'll go ahead and get started. I don't know what's up here. I was a few minutes late. Everything's like going to, nothing's working right. Let's just say that. So yesterday I did my Fun Folds class. I do a Fun Fold class every other month in the rubber room. And we make 3 fun folds using the same pattern. But we do we feature 3 different stamp sets or suites. So you get to see lots of product and see how some fun things are made. So this was one that I designed. It is called I think a double flip fun fold. So you flip your card open and you have all of these. Let me turn it around so you can see here. All of these fun little folds to it that just to pop right up, which I think is really fun. So I started off with this one, which was from Lisa Curcio, and she had done one. I did a couple changes to it, but I think that it's just so cute. I love all these fun folds, and then your little pop-ups, and then you write your sentiment down here. That little honey bear, I think, is adorable. And then the other one I did was with one of our new stamp sets or suites that's going to be available in our May online exclusive. So demonstrators can order it early, and which I did, and I think it's so cute. If you grew up with Pooh, which I don't know of anybody who did not grow up with Pooh Bear, it's just kind of a throwback to all those wonderful things. And then you open it up, and again, you have all of these different little layers to your card. Pooh and Piglet, best friends forever, right? So we made that one. We made both of those, and then I designed this one. So this is the one I'm going to share with you today, and this is from our Sweet as a Bug, or Cute as a Bug suite of products. If you guys are here watching me, leave me a comment so I know, and I can say hello. Let me know where you're from. We're going to go ahead and start with this one, and I'm going to share just exactly how we made it. A lot of our images, our fun little images, come from the designer series paper. So I have gone ahead and done some of the trimming already for you. So let's put that one out of the way, and we'll go ahead. Lots of fun pieces for this. Okay, so I'm going to start with my card base. Okay, so this one is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 5 1/2 on the 11-inch side. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold it on my score line, burnish it really well there. And then we have this gorgeous piece of designer series paper. I think that is just so fun with all of the blackberries and a little tiny, can you see those little tiny bees on there? I think those are so cute. So I'm just going to add this to the front of my card with with some Stampin' Seal. I'm going to take the lid off of that. Your Stampin' Seal, you want to hold straight up and just kind of give it a lift when you get to the edge. And that'll avoid getting all kinds of sticky, gunky stuff in here, and it'll just kind of roll on smoothly. So I'm going to make sure my paper is going in the right direction, meaning my bee's feet are down. I'm just going to place that on my card base. Okay? I'll take this. This is a little label that was die cut. I love die cutting, and these labels that we have lately, the dies are just so amazing. So I'm going to stamp a little Hello Friend onto my label. And I'm using some Blackberry Bliss for this. And it coordinates with these blackberries and just looks really nice. So I'm going to just take my adhesive, put a couple lines on there. And then this is another one. This is a little banner that I cut. And I'm going to add that right to, I don't want to go a little tiny bit up from center because I want to add these little ants on there that are carrying. That's so cute. I just realized I missed a little bit of the cutting. I tried to do all of my fancy cutting so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me do that, but I missed around this little ant's legs. So I'm going to do that right now. And then I'm going to trim this little overhanging part on either side. It looks like I didn't get that on there very straight. There we go. That's nice and straight. So I'm just going to turn it over and then trim right up to where my blackberry banner starts. Okay. And then I have a nice long piece of linen thread that I am going to wrap around there. I got another piece of, there we go. So I'm going to take this and I want to tie it in a bow over here. So I'm just going to pull it around enough that I leave myself enough linen thread to tie a bow. And I'm just going to wrap it around here twice. I'm going to keep it under my words. Let's see. I'm going to come around this way just a little bit. Not sure. There we go. So I want to keep it like right in there. I'm going to have to set it down flat here. Tie a little knot. And I'm going to take that and just wrap it around under where I've wrapped it around. And that will make my bow like kind of nice and flat there. And I do bunny ear bows. So I'm just going to make a little loop here and another loop on the other side. And I'm going to wrap it around, bring it up through, down, and then up through the hole. And that's going to give me this nice little bow here. Just going to pull it tight, and there we go. I'm going to add these little guys, and I'm going to put them up on some dimensionals. I have some mini dimensionals here that are going to be like perfect for his little body. The little antibody. I think these bugs are so adorable. We did a retreat. My sister-in-law and I did a retreat in January, and this was one of the bundles that we used, one of the sweets, and it was so cute that you couldn't not use it. It's been unorderable a couple times. I think right now, though, it is back in stock, so if you need it, it's kind of cute for kids. But I have a lot of people that I know like strawberries, so that's a good thing to send them, a little strawberry card or blackberries. So we go to the fruit market for our vegetables every week, and I like to take them some treats, so this would be like a perfect card to take there. So I'm just going to put these guys up here, and I want them to kind of overlap a little bit. Let's see where we are there. I think that will work. So I'm going to just rearrange my bow. I think I want it just a little bit smaller so that it's not 3 times the size of my ant there. Okay. And then I am going to put this banner on with some dimensionals. I'm going to trim my linen thread a little bit. I'm going to get some bigger dimensionals here for the back of this. And dimensionals are a great way to add some depth to your card. And with this card, you really don't need to add too much depth because we're going to have all of the pieces, the pop-up pieces inside. So we don't need to add too much more bulk to it than that. And I kept the things on the front kind of minimalistic because I wanted the focus to be on that beautiful paper. It's got such great shading and it's just super pretty. So we want to kind of focus on that a little bit. I'm going to bring this right up to the top. And make sure it's on there straight. Sometimes I have to lift it up to make sure I got it. Okay, so that's the front of our card. I'm going to just play with that bow one more time because I want to get my tails to be about the same length. Well, these aren't my good ribbon cutting scissors, are they? There we go. Like chewing our way through that one. Okay, so for the inside, we are going to start with the first of our little pop-up pieces. So this piece is scored at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch. It's 4 1/4 by 4. So I'm just going to fold and burnish it. I've scored the 4 1/2 inch side. And the 4 1/4 side is going to be the width of our card is 4 1/4. So we want it to go from side to side of our card. All right. So I'm just going to take this little 1/2 inch side. So we have there's a 1 inch piece, a 1 inch piece, 1 inch piece, and a 1 inch piece. And then there's this little 1/2 inch strip over here. So I'm going to add my adhesive to that 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to add some glue because it's a little stronger than our snail. And I do want to be sure that this stays really tight. I am not a glue person, so I guarantee you'll get to see me make a big, big mess. Because that's the way that I tend to do things when I use the glue. That's why you don't see me using it too often. But today, we need it. So, I've got my glue right there. And I'm just going to fold this over. And then I'm going to take the bottom of my piece and just fold it right up. And this is going to make like a little tunnel. And we call this a double pop-up because we have 2 pop-up pieces on it. So I'm going to go ahead and make my second piece like this. So you're going to actually need 2 pieces that are 4 by 4 1/4 and are scored at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inches. Okay, at class I did most of the things, cut all their pieces and scored them for them so that we could just go through and just assembly. A lot of times with your fun folds, your assembly is the part that you need to learn. So I usually try and keep the rest of it a little more basic, so it's a little easier card to do once you get those fun folds on there. And again, my little green glue, I got this lovely little holder. One of my teammates made it for me. So I can put my glue in there and I can stick my top right there so I don't lose it, because she knows me. I tend to go, where is it, after I've used it. So I'm just going to add a little more green glue here. And we kind of look out for each other in our team like that. Once you start stamping together, you know who's a green glue person, who's not, who loses everything. And I can pretty much lose something while I'm using it. So I know that it has to be at the table, but okay. So now we have these 2 little, they're like little tunnel pieces, but they're going to be our pop-up pieces. I'm going to put my top on here because I'm not going to use that. Okay, so this is going to go inside our card, and I want this little piece here where I folded it over, I want that to be on the bottom of my card. So I'm going to put some glue there, so that will make it the bottom of my card. And then I'm also going to put some glue here. I'm saying glue, but I'm going to use my adhesive. So it's going to go on the bottom and the back pieces. Okay, and then I'm just going to open my card up, and I'm going to take my bottom piece and line it right up with the fold in my card. There we go. And then I'm just going to fold my card down. And that's going to adhere the back of it. So now I have this little piece that's going to pop right up when you open your card. Okay? I have a piece of paper that's going to go on the back there. I actually have a piece of Mossy Meadow. And then I cut this designer series paper. I love these little flowers. It reminds me so much of spring. And I love spring and flowers and gardening, so it's like perfect. I'm going to center this right on my piece of cardstock. Our designer paper it's just so beautiful. It's what I used on the front of this card, and it makes designing and crafting, creating just such a breeze. So now I'm going to take this. I don't know how I managed to get a little bit of glue there. See, I told you guys I'm like glue challenged, but I managed to get some glue there. Get my adhesive remover. And I'll put this down, just centered, and I can always pop my card open so I can see right where I'm going with it and that I'm straight. Oh my gosh, so cute. And now we have another panel that's going to pop up here. So I'm going to go ahead while it's flat like this, and I'm going to add some adhesive in here. And I'm going to get my piece. And this one, again, is going to be 4 1/4 wide. So I want to be sure I've got it on the right side. And I'm just going to add that right to the front of there. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then again, I am going to add that other little tunnel piece right here, so that I have the spot coming up on the front for it. So again, I'm just going to go, this is where, right there is where I I hope you guys can see that, where it's the bottom of it, where I glued it when I folded it. So that's the bottom. So I'm going to tape that, and I'm going to tape the back. Okay, so you have the bottom and then the back. And I'm just going to add some. Again, you can use sticky strip here. You can use your glue. Whatever adhesive you like is what you want to use there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the bottom, and I'm going to put it right up against my other box piece. So they're just going to seam together just like that. And then I am going to, again, close my card, and that will give it a good adhesive there. Okay, so now I'm going to fold it open, and I have this little second pop-up that I'm going to decorate, and I actually cut a piece of Mellow Moss cardstock, and I cut a little, like, kind of scene out of it that I'm going to put on it. I think that is just so cute. And I am going to put this towards the top because you're going to have a little thing in there so that you'll be able to see more of it that way. So I'm just going to put this on, and everybody got a different little, everybody at the class got a different little piece of designer series paper. So again, this is that gorgeous design. Isn't it so cute? I think that's such a cute piece. I think it's different than the piece I used on my sample, so we'll go back and look and check it out. But I'm just gonna adhere it onto there. And then, because our piece pops up here, I'm just gonna add it right to the back of this, and it will stick to our little pop-up piece here. And I'm gonna line it up with our other piece of Mellow Moss there, or Mossy Meadow. Okay, and then we have the front of it, and that's going to be this little piece right here. And I don't want to add adhesive to this whole piece because then when I close my card, it will stick. So I'm going to add adhesive to the front of my little tube. Just like that, and then I'm going to put this piece on top of it. Now you can do this without designer series paper, just use cardstock, and I'll show you the other two. We used the other two cards I did, we used more cardstock. I don't like the way that's sitting on there. You can emboss pieces for it, so lots of different things, but I think this is like the perfect card to really showcase how cute our designer series paper is. Okay, and so this one, I am going to cut out this, again, from our designer series paper. So I'm just going to, boy, I'm like an adhesive wreck, you guys. So I'm just going to put some on here. Now these particular ones do not have die cuts that match them. So this is all fussy cutting on here. I don't mind fussy cutting it. My husband likes to watch sports on TV, and me not so much. So I can always take this up there and watch a hockey game with them while I fancy cut and have a chance to relax. I am putting this over towards the right side because I'm going to stamp some words on here. Let's see, I'm going to put Spread Joy on here. I'm just going to use some Memento black ink, and I tend to, for this one, it's not going to really matter too much because I'm going to cut these words apart. So if they're not really straight, it doesn't matter to me. But I love that we have these photopolymer stamps so you can see right through them and see exactly where you're stamping. That one is a little bit dark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and re-stamp it without pressing down quite so hard. There we go. Let's see what I'm looking for here. I had a little bag of things that got away from me. Oh, that's not what I want. I just have this little bag of scrap pieces of everything here. So I'm just going to grab a piece of white scraps and see if I can stamp this so that I like it. The darkness of it. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. There we go. The darkness of it. I want to first get it evenly stamped there and then have it be legible. Okay. And I am going to, again, fancy cut this out and separate them so that I can add some words in there. I have such a fun time with this stamp set because it's perfect for fancy cutting, number one, but everything is so colorful and bright and happy, and especially here in Michigan, we have been getting lots of rain. We were laughing on Sunday. We had rain, hail, snow, and at one point the sun came out and it was almost 50 degrees. It was we truly, I think, went through all 4 seasons in about 6 hours on Sunday. So, which if you're familiar with Michigan, we also have these high pollen counts. So when the weather acts all goofy like this, you get a lot of sinus and allergy action going on, which is always a real treat. I have allergies, and mine usually manifest them in a sinus headache. So I have this little beanie kind of thing that I heat up in the microwave and put it on, and I'll lay on the couch with that for a half an hour and bring myself back to life. And while I do it, I put some warm cloths on my eyes because they tend to swell when my allergies get bad. So it's very attractive. But it only lasts for about a half an hour, and then I can get it under control. And so you move on. When Mother Nature's going to do what she's going to do. So you just ride along with it. And truly, when I can work with papers like these, it just puts me in a much better headspace. The colors alone just bring a lot of joy. And like I said, I find the fancy cutting very relaxing. So, and then you have those amazing days like yesterday when I had people here to stamp, and that was a lot of fun. Because stamping with other people, sharing your paper crafting passion is probably one of the best things about crafting. We know so many other wonderful crafters that are happy to come and stamp with us. So, okay. And I am going again to have to bring this green glue in here because now that I've trimmed this up, oops. Got my light turned off there. It's very small back there. So I'm just going to put a little dabs of green glue on here. See how messy I can get with it. My downline helper, Marielle, she loves this, and so does, I have a lot of downline people that are green glue people. That's their favorite go-to. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm just going to do a little spread there. Enjoy down here. Isn't it adorable? I think that is just so cute. And then, of course, we have these great little gems. Look at this. Little butterfly, little ladybug. I'm going to put a little one right in there. Let's see. I want to get her to be at a little bit of an angle in there. There we go. And I think I'll put another one down in here. I think that these are just so cute. I think that's adorable. But wait, there's more. I did cut out one of these little guys. Isn't she adorable? She's like a purple ladybug. So I'm going to add some adhesive to her. And I'm just going to plop her down right here where I'm going to write my sentiment. So this is where my sentiment's going to go. So you kind of have this really long, adorable card. Isn't that so cute? I'm going to wait just a second and get it all lined up in my camera. And then I'll go back and show you the other ones. I think that is just so cute. And then it all folds right up. And this is the adorable front of it. So cute. And then we'll go back with these. This is your little Winnie the Pooh. And let's open him so you can see all of the different pieces here. And again, this was just a part of the DSP. Stamped this logo. That was a die that was included in there. That's the DSP. And a little Pooh Bear with a honey pot. I think that's adorable. Pooh is so cute. I have a little neighbor boy who is 3 and loves Pooh. So that's what he'll be getting. And then this one, let's turn it over here. And this is what started it all, was Lisa Curcio's card. And there we go. So this is, again, some designer series paper down here. And I'm going to go in and maybe get another little jar or maybe stamp some more blueberries and put them down here. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put a couple right there. But very, very cute card. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And I will be back next Tuesday with maybe some tips for you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.